sideways, boys in the days. Sitting sideways, boys in the days. Sitting sideways.
Welcome to another episode of Sittin Sideways. I'm your host, Reezy. You can find me on Twitter at ReezySeason, ReeCyszn. And you can find the podcast at Sittin Sideways _no G. And I'm here with my boy, Ike.
Yo, what's good? My name's Ike Cuellar. I'm on X, Twitter, at Ike Cuellar. That's IKECUELLAR. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all tap in with us.
Oh, follow us on YouTube too.
Yes,
Damn, it took 3 tries, but we got through that. Okay. So the last time we recorded, we were mid-win streak, like almost exactly mid-win streak. It had been 6 games out of the 11, and then we rattled off 5 more games. So we wanted to talk about those 5 games before we got into our real topic, but we'll say that. The first game we wanted to talk about was the Bulls game. At this point, Jalen is still going nuclear, like to the point that he kind of got under DeMar DeRozan's skin. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like I like DeMar DeRozan. I had a lot of respect for him. That was such a fucking like low, salty, cheap shot. And like when Ryan Hollins was like, "Oh, that's super out of character for DeMar," like I'll take your word for it. Like I don't know Ryan Hollins or DeMar, but that really pissed me off, especially because Jalen was down for a while and like the trainers were looking at him. I was like, that was completely unnecessary. Like you only did that because you got blocked hit by Jalen on the other end. But you know, it was just a pathetic play from DeMar. What were your thoughts?
Man, just a dirty play. Really looked like an open field tackle, man. It looked like
Mhm.
DeMar should play for the Houston Texans, which is a team we're going to talk about a little bit later. But and that foul was so uncalled for. Just really came out of nowhere, man. I was actually listening to it on the radio when that was going on,
Mhm.
and I heard Matt Thomas say, like, what was that all about? You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Mhm.
whoa, like that hit must have been serious. And they just keep it a book, man. Like DeMar was mad that Jalen blocked his shot at the rim,
Yeah.
right? And that's one of the improvements that we've talked about on this podcast that he's had over this stretch, and playing defense where he's really taking pride and really making it known that this is something that he's taken very seriously, and it
Mhm.
shows by that. And it's good to see like other players like get mad or like bitch about stuff like that, because that's where you know that he's turning the corner when
Mhm.
the mix, things like this pop off. So,
Yeah.
man, I love to see stuff like that, even though, it was a cheap shot by DeMar.
Yeah, I feel like veterans in this league go one of 2 ways. It's either like Paul George, where they're like taking as many dudes under their wing as they can and like teaching them like Kobe did. Um, I think even Steph does that to a degree. But like it seems like there's another way to go, like Paul Pierce, Shaq. I don't know if DeMar is just like becoming that salty old dude. Um, but I don't know. I had high expectations for DeMar. Just I can understand the frustration of like losing a game, especially like on such a public scale. Um, and like getting blocked by a kid who's like 10 years younger than you, basically. Like that has to be frustrating on some level. But you're a professional. This is why you get paid millions of dollars, just to deal with this like unprecedented level of pressure and attention and all that shit. You got to keep it together. Like there's a reason that Dylan had to get up in his face and be like, you can't be doing that shit. Like what the fuck was that? And like let's talk about it. He threw an elbow too at Dylan. Like as soon as he like felt Dylan behind him, chucked that elbow right behind him. Like that's completely unfucking called for. That's just like trying to injure a player. And then, I don't want to get into a ref rant as easily as I could. There were a couple of calls over the last couple of games, but they ejected Dylan for getting elbowed. Like, what the fuck? Like
I
he's
know, man.
I get he has some dirty plays in his past. I get he has been an instigator and a menace. In this case, which is how every play should be like called and reviewed on a case by case basis and with no like reputation calls or history calls. Um, like in this case, there was no reason to eject him at all. Like give him a tech for getting up in DeMar's face. He didn't throw a punch, he didn't swing or nothing. He didn't shove anybody. He got pushed back and like fell. He tripped over somebody and they all went to the ground. But he didn't pull anybody down, you know? So that really pissed me off that they ejected Dylan off of that shit. And it's not even like people are like, oh, here Draymond keeps getting away with stuff, and it's like Draymond, they need to know by now. That's different. Like Draymond crosses the line every time. It's not like, oh, Draymond crosses the line so often that sometimes even when he doesn't cross the line, he gets ejected. That's what's happening to Dylan Brooks. That's not what's happening to Draymond Green. Draymond Green gets away with so much shit from the refs. All right, that's the end of my Dylan Brooks ejected rant. What were your thoughts on part 2 of that fight?
I mean, I just think that it was really ridiculous to, eject him for that, for standing up for his teammate, bro. Like, that's weird. What do you expect, the players to do? Like, I would expect that from anybody on the team, to be honest. It could be, Jeff Green or any of the guys, even Boban, because he loves the guy so much, which would be hilarious to see. But, credit to Dylan for sticking up for Jalen, man, and just letting them know, like, just because you lost your composure completely, I haven't seen this all year from a player, doesn't mean that you can get away with it down here on this team. So
Yeah.
credit to Dylan, and also credit to Jalen, man, because he had a hell of a fourth quarter that game where he just cooked them, and he took it personal after that. So, we got the dub, which was important, and that's how you just let the game speak for itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fact. And I feel like Jalen has been doing that really well, considering like the jokes that have been cracked on his head post pre- pregnancy announcement from Drea. Like since then, so many people have been like, oh, he's got to play for his child support bills. He's got to pay, he's going for that max contract no matter what. Jalen, to his credit, the only thing he has said about the situation is I'm hooping, I'm balling out for my family, for my child. That's it. That's what he said. Like, and that's such a mature response to verbalize like post game after people have been talking shit after like a successful post game. Like it wasn't like, oh, you lost. What are your thoughts? It was like, man, what the fuck? Like, what came over you, right? And he was like, my child. Like, I'm doing this for my kid. And meanwhile, everybody else
Exactly.
is cracking pathetic ass jokes online. So like to have that level of composure coming from our 21, 22-year-old shooting guard, and then to like have that contrasted with some of these like grown ass men in the league acting like absolute fucking children. Like I don't know if you saw today. I'm generally a LeBron fan, or at least like I have a lot of respect for what he does for the game and like in general. I don't know if you saw today two instances. One, he elbowed the ever loving shit out of Denny Avdia, and Denny Avdia went out of the game with a migraine because he took an elbow to the back of the head. And he also called the ref, among other things, a bitch, which is really rich coming from LeBron, you
Yes.
know? And so like I'm not gonna get into that. You can get into that side if you want, because I know how you feel about LeBron. But what do you think? Like, is it like a salty old dude thing? Is it just like people like hating on Jalen, whatever it is? Like, what? Because it's not just Jalen either, right? Like the Rockets as a whole have been attracting kind of this tension during games. Like Jabari has gotten into it with Chris Dunn. Amin
Oh
Thompson got
yeah.
into it with Jeremy Sohan. Tari got
hmm
into it with either I think it was Cam Reddish, right?
Yeah.
Or somebody. Jalen got into it with Bradley Beal and DeMar. And then Cam Whitmore got into it with Devin Booker. Like our guys are taking no shit. Nobody is taking any shit. And this
Yeah.
is before we had Steven Adams on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like now we got Steven, Boban. There's no saying what Big Cock Jock is capable of. That's all I'm saying. He might knock somebody out. I've seen him get hyped. So like
Yeah.
there's like an identity, and I think it starts from Ime down of like we're not taking any shit. We're just gonna handle business. But if anybody like brings it, we're ending it. You know.
hmm
So I appreciate that energy about the team. But what do you think it is? Like, what do you think is attracting all this kind of attention to the team?
I think it's how really the PR has been so bad for the last couple of years, and they actually the league is actually watching us grow into our own, like as a team.
Mhm.
And we got a great head coach now. We got some direction going. There's structure there, and the league's not liking it, bro. They don't like anything from Houston, but that's okay because we don't like him either.
Mhm.
And that thing you were talking about LeBron, I saw your tweet earlier. LeBron is just like an old dude that he knows that he has like a foot out the league already, bro. I can go off on LeBron here this entire podcast if I wanted to, but I do respect, how great he is. He is a great player,
Mhm.
but when it comes to like bitching to the refs, he's got to be top two, and he's not number two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I would say Luka's number two. Luka's such a bitch, bro. I ain't gonna get into it, but yeah, man, LeBron is just the king of that, of just crying to the refs. Until he gets out of the league, it's gonna be like that. And that's who they are, man. That's the Lakers for you.
Yeah. I mean, they're divas, right? It's superstar. It's Hollywood. It is what it is.
Mhm.
We'll move on to the next game, which was super impressive against the Thunder with Shea out, whatever. Alperen
What
Şengün
a
is out. Tari Eason is out. I'm pretty sure. Was
yeah.
Cam Whitmore was out for that game too. We're missing half of our young core. All right. I have often and repeatedly said that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, for as good as he is, all credit, he's MVP level player. For as good as he is, he should not count when we're comparing like rebuild to rebuild because the Thunder had a once in like not even like a lifetime, just like a one time opportunity of and Toronto really fucked this up for everybody. Toronto is the reason the Thunder are as good as they are, in my opinion. If the Raptors could have kept Kawhi, right? Kawhi never would have gone to the Clippers and been like, if you get Paul George, I will also come. Because now the Clippers are like, whatever we're trading to Oklahoma, it's not just for Paul George, it's for Paul George and Kawhi. They're a package deal now. So they, whatever, send SGA and a boatload of picks to the Thunder. And now the Thunder look like geniuses. But really, they just had Paul George at the right time, which, yeah, credit to them. Like they flipped him for a good deal. They could have flipped him to us for nothing, which they've done twice now. They've sent us superstars for like absolutely nothing twice. So
Yes. Thank you, OKC.
appreciate it. But for as good as they are, all credit to the Thunder. They're a great organization. They draft really well, all that shit. I don't think Shea should count in like the head-to-head rebuild comparison. Like we're talking rebuild to rebuild, it starts with Giddy for me, right? Giddy, Trey Man, uh, Chet, Jalen Williams, Usman, Jang, if you want to count him, whoever the fuck else they drafted, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then our six guys. That's how I compare the rebuild. So them not having Shea out or not having Shea in, I don't really give a shit. But that game was game of the year for me. Like,
Yes,
hands
bro.
down, if you are listening to this and you haven't seen any Rockets games, you didn't watch the streak, if you want one game to watch for the Rockets where you're like, oh, okay, this is what the new Rockets are about, watch the Thunder game. Um, you're not going to see Alperen Şengün, which is an important part of it, like a key part of the rebuild. But you'll see why Jalen is doing what he's doing, or like how he's doing what he's doing. And it'll be super entertaining because that back and forth, excuse me, between Jalen all game was insane. And like Giddy too, but fuck Giddy. I don't give a shit. Um, Jalen Williams is amazing. Like, let's talk about it. This dude is so like steady and consistent. And they picked him up in the same fucking draft as Chet.
No
Crazy.
fuckers.
It's crazy.
I hate OKC.
They
That's
draft
for
so well.
Yeah, man. One of many reasons to hate them. But that back and forth between, both Jalen's was incredible, bro. And honestly, I've never seen Jalen Green play like that. He was doing some James Harden-esque,
Takeover.
step back threes and in their face, bro. Like they were all in his grill, hand in his face and everything. Even the drives that he was getting, he was finishing strong at the rim. It's something that he wasn't doing early in the season,
Mm-mm.
where he was getting bumped around and just jacking up shots, which were like basically turnovers, right? When you take a bad shot like that.
Mm-hmm.
But to see that whole package of Jalen in one game, from the step back threes, the drive-ins, the finishing at the rim, and also the playmaking. Remember that pass he had to Jabari Smith in the corner for that big
Mm-hmm.
three?
Yep.
Um, it was just a masterclass by Jalen Green.
Yeah.
And like you said, if you want one game to hang your hat on about the Houston Rockets this year, it's that game, bro, against the Thunder, because we're clearly a different team, and it's all credit to Ime Udoka, bro. Like, he really came in and just set the standard for everything and provided that structure that we needed. And as a Rocket fan, it's really exciting to see, bro. Like, I cannot wait, really, for the next game, but like for the future too, the next
Mm-hmm.
year and so forth.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. The identity that he sort of instilled, it keeps them from ever checking out of games. Like nobody, it doesn't really matter how like down we are until he pulls the starters at the end of the game, everybody's fighting. Like it's and then whoever he puts in afterwards is fighting too. Like credit to the third string guys who are coming off getting like their rare minutes. They come in and fight hard. But yeah, 1 through 15, everybody's got a fucking attitude about winning on this team, and it's so much fun to watch and root for as a fan. When your team has that like edge, like when we had Harden and him and CP3 and Clint were all playing, there was like you can't fuck with us. Like we're playing at a
Yeah.
different level. And like Jalen got to that level that night. Um, and so I think the team is developing that attitude where it's like we're gonna be defensively above everybody else. And like they're getting there. Like this is year one under Ime, right? And their defense is like top 5 and their offense is top 10. That's championship level. That's contender level. If they can convert that into like 50 wins, dog, we're fighting the best in the West. Period.
And
Um,
let me just
mhm.
state some reasons too why that was also a big game, because OKC's crowd, their home court advantage,
They have a really
is
good crowd.
really a college crowd when you think about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was really like a playoff atmosphere over there with how loud they were, the intensity, how close the game was. And for us to stay focused and locked in the way that we did and come out with that dub, it really shows a lot of growth in our team, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
it took a long time to get here from the Silas years, but after that game, you know what I'm saying? I was talking so much shit on the time
Oh
on the
yeah.
timeline. I'm not gonna lie, because I was so happy, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, we can keep it up so we have more bragging rights like that. Because OKC, divisional opponent, you always want to get those, bro. No matter like if they're home or away, but
Are
it
they
feels
are they
better.
divisional opponent? They're definitely conference opponent, right?
Yeah, I think they're in our division, if I'm not mistaken.
Did they
Southwest
change
Division.
when they swapped from Seattle? Because I thought Seattle was Pacific, right?
I might be wrong, but I
I don't
thought it
know.
was San Antonio, Dallas, New
Memphis, New Orleans, and us.
Orleans.
That's 5.
Okay, yeah,
So
you're
that's our
right.
5,
I'm
right? But
wrong.
it is conference opponent,
Yeah,
and like they're close enough that it's been a rivalry. I'm sorry, I
yeah,
wasn't trying to get pedantic. I thought I was tripping or something. Uh,
yeah. My bad.
no, that's solid. No, but I agree with what you're saying. Like you can see how the team is elevating into that role. And everybody's like sort of developed this sort of late game poise. Like Jalen is such a steady hand. Usually, last game, I don't know if you saw last game at the end of the game, it was back to back
Yeah,
turnovers. I was, that meme where the guys like, take fuck this. Like that was
yeah,
me
that
after
was tough.
both of those
That
turnovers.
was
I was like,
tough.
fuck this. I'm turning this shit but generally, he has been very steady and very like effective, even late in games. He gets to the paint, gets the foul call if he can't get the shot. Like very, very well done. And he's also, I like that you shouted out that play where he found Jabari in the corner because that was the right play to make. And I feel like year one, year two, Jalen would have gone straight at the rim and like gotten stuffed, turnover, whatever. But he saw Jabari, he drew the defenders into the paint and kicked it. Perfect pass, perfect play. Jabari hit the shot. Execution was on point. Also credit to Dylan Brooks. I want to just shout him out real quick because he hit those first 2 threes in overtime to like set the tone, and that carried
Right.
us through overtime after that because they did get back within a couple points. It was like a 2 point game at one point. So if he doesn't hit both of those threes, like at some points we go down. And at that point, if you're down in overtime, like everybody's attitude changes. So credit to Dylan Brooks, especially after he airballed in the fourth quarter. He airballed a three, and then Amen scored on that possession anyway. But that was a good bounce back. And then Fred was playing incredible, through that stretch as well. So yeah, I'm happy with how the team is playing. Jock has stepped up in Shingun's absence, maybe less so than when the streak started. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I did want to touch on the fact that OKC drafts so well. We also appreciate that since they're like our farm system, and we'll pick up Jalen Williams in a couple of years.
Yeah, bro.
So we'll
Give
move
him
on.
nothing for it too. We'll give him like 2 picks or whatever, get a star out of it. It's crazy.
Two second-round picks and Boban if you want.
Who do we give up for James Harden, bro? Do you remember? I know it was Kevin Martin.
It's Kevin
that was in
Martin,
there.
and then I think Jeremy Lamb, right? And I think a pick that turned into Steven Adams. So we got Steven Adams back too. So like, what
Yeah.
did they really get?
I know. Let's go. That's hilarious.
But I wanted to touch on the Dallas game because that was the streak ender. We lost to Dallas. Luka went for 47. 47 of the most ridiculous fucking points I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
I just wanted to like make a note of that because that fat bitch choked against Golden State the very next game when we needed them to win.
Yes.
So what the
Yes.
fuck are you good for? I mean,
Exactly.
he really is James Harden 2.0. He keeps losing to Golden State. Fucking idiot. He's probably back there smoking cigarettes after the Rockets win. That's what he's good for. Anyway, I just wanted to say fuck Dallas, fuck Luka. Until he leaves, which I hope he leaves because I want to be able to root for him. But fuck him. He needs to like get his shit together. Everybody's like, oh, he's MVP level or generational. You know they're a first round exit. Like, who are we fucking kidding here? That team is not built for the playoffs.
Me and Judson, when we were at the game, we were noticing every play, whether he made the shot or missed it, he will still bitch to the refs all game. I'm like, bro, you just got the call. You made the shot. Even the timeout was over. You know how both teams go to their bench. He was still complaining. I'm like, bro, you have like 35 points right now. And they were shooting as a team. They shot over 50% from the 3-point line.
Yeah, that game was cursed for us.
Yeah, like I don't care who you play. If a team is shooting that good, you're not beating them. You know what I'm saying? It just sucks that it had to be the Mavericks. This is like fuck Dallas on everything, bro.
It's whatever. This is like the height of their success. They have like no cap space or picks or whatever the fuck. They draft decently well. They pick up some like late first round guys that end up being productive. I like Derek Lively. But fuck Mark Cuban, fuck the Dallas Mavericks, fuck that whole city, and fuck Luka too.
Yes, sir.
Kyrie is playing his ass off. Ramadan Kyrie is real. And he's not, first to his credit, he's not causing problems in Dallas, which is fine. Not yet. We'll see. It's always, there's always a honeymoon period with Kyrie. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that Luka showed up for 47 ridiculous ass points against a rebuilding, like 21-year-old led Rockets team. But like when push came to shove and he needed to execute the geriatric warriors, he couldn't fucking do it. So good job, I guess, Luka. But we'll move on to a more exciting topic, more pleasant topic. Speaking of Judson, I wanted to shout out, thank you, Judson, for inviting us. We got to go to the Rockets Charity Gala, which was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had as a fan of the Rockets. I'll let you go first. You start because I'm going to go for a while. So, how was your night that night?
Man, it was just to be honest, bro, it was the best night of my life, bro. I told you this a couple of times when we were there. The vibes were immaculate there. Everybody was looking sharp, looking nice, from all the old school players to the current players, all of us that were sitting together. Me, you, Judson, Brad, Will, Cause, Ben, everybody. Even Neil and Karen.
There.
Yeah, man. It was such a dope night. And to get a chance just to talk to some of these people and hang out with them and just like reminisce on some of the good times, in the past from championship years and and just have a good time, man. They had it was open bar all night. You know what I'm saying? That bartender, he knew me, bro, because I was there like, what I'm saying, a lot of
Mhm.
times. But it was such a great night, bro. I got to meet Hakeem. That was probably one of the
What
best
a
moments as a fan, as a Rocket fan, to
surreal.
stand next to greatness. I got to meet Rudy T, such a nice guy. Um, just everybody, bro. Steve Francis, Rayford Austin, Ime Udoka. I mean, I could go on and on, bro. It was
Mhm.
just the best night of my life, hands down. And yeah, shout outs to Judson, man. That dude is like really a go. I don't know if you saw, but they put Judson's picture with Akeem on the Rockets app,
Oh
and the
yeah,
quality of it looks so dope because
yeah.
he
They
has the
took a good
Etonics
picture.
on. You know what I'm
They took
saying?
a good picture. I'll just real quick. That motherfucker. If I had a red suit, I would have worn my Etonics. But
Hmm.
damn, that red suit looks so clean on him, so I can't even hate. But yeah,
Yeah,
if you haven't
bro.
seen that pic, see if you can find it. If you can hunt it down, Justin with Hakeem wearing the Etonics in his red suit, iconic.
Yeah,
Honestly, iconic. Um,
legendary, bro.
but yeah, dude, just like the vibe from like the minute we walked in, the fact that it was sequins and sneakers, so everybody was like flashy, like killer shoes everywhere. Like some of the player shoes were incredible. Like some of the rare Jordans. I'm pretty sure I saw the North Carolina ones,
Hmm.
which are like grails for me. Um, just like the vibe in there of like celebrating the Rockets, celebrating the 20th anniversary of the first title, having the title winning team in there, dog lined
Yes,
up, and just like Rudy T talking to Hakeem in front of us with the team. Like
yes,
I was multiple times like, is this happening? Like, what the fuck is going on? And like being caught between like trying to document as much as I could and like still being there and present in the moment to like appreciate it and remember it was insane. Like just and then meeting like other people who I had never met before who were just amazing to talk to. So yeah,
and then
shout
don't.
out to Judson for like an incredible night. The food was incredible. I have to say, the brisket sandwich was fucking amazing. Okay, yeah,
Damn, bro, I
that's all
missed
I
out
had to.
on that.
I had to shout out
I
that brisket sandwich.
I missed out on that
It was
because
so
like
good.
when I'm in a place like that, bro, I don't really like to eat too much at that
I
time.
feel you.
I want to talk to a lot of people, but it was so cool also to when we talked to Dylan Brooks and
Hmm.
we thanked him for sticking up for
Yeah,
Jalen the
because it was
night
the
before.
night after
Remember
the
that?
Chicago game. So yeah, like as they were walking by, we were like, "Man, thank you for sticking up for Jalen," because like somebody had to. And he was
Yeah.
like, no, I don't remember what he said. He was like, thank you, or some shit like that. I was fucking fanboying out. I have the video of us like dapping up all the players and everything. I will not be posting it anywhere because I sound like a 13-year-old just losing his mind. But yeah, maybe without audio, I'll post it somewhere.
And then I think what was one of the coolest things of the night was to have Matt Thomas there introduce the old school lineup. I mean, that just put everything together, bro. And the court they had on there had the old
Hmm.
school logo. You know what I'm saying? It was just perfect. Everything was perfect.
Yeah, they pulled off a
And
hell of an event.
I'm kind of shocked I didn't see Kenny Smith there, even though I know he was working like the college
Mhm.
thing right now,
He
the
sent that video in,
NCAA.
right?
Yeah, and he was talking shit to Charles at the time, at the same time too, which is hilarious. He's like, "We beat them twice," so I
Hmm.
thought that was pretty cool just to let them know. But yeah, man, just the best night ever, and shout out to everybody that went, man. It was such a great time.
I was hoping this kind of touches on a separate topic, but I was kind of hoping Shaq would say something
Mhm.
because like Hakeem was there and like that's such a rare interaction in my head. Like Hakeem and Shaq. Like I know that Shaq looks up to Hakeem, but I know he's salty about that finals sweep. Like there's
Oh
no
yeah,
way that Shaq isn't like still pissed about that. Just knowing who Shaq is, like how he operates. I don't know if you saw he called like Angel Reese the greatest athlete to come out of LSU, which like Angel Reese is great. I'm a big fan, but like he's always with that hyperbolic shit. He's always flip flopping his fucking opinions.
Yeah.
So like I wanted to know what he would say about the Rockets winning a championship because it's relevant to him too.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we didn't get to hear from him, but we got to see Chuck. That was cool. It was weirdly like because it was addressed specifically to people in that room, like the video. It felt like, oh shit, like Chuck is talking to us, Kenny is talking to us. It was kind of cool.
Hmm.
I'm just That's just NBA, the like young NBA fan of me geeking out about these legends. Like these are the dudes who, as like a young kid, and this is getting into like some deep fanboyism, but like as a young kid in America who's like not who didn't really fit in anywhere, like the Rockets are one of those things I had that like let me relate to people. And so like I dove deep into it, like deep into basketball games. Like we idolized these dudes growing up. And like to finally meet Hakeem and shake his hand and Rudy T to like thank Rudy T. Just like what a surreal experience, Like I'm
Yeah,
still
man.
thinking it over. I'm like, did that actually happen? Like I'm not sure that that happened. Amazing
Yeah.
experience. Shout
And
out to
then
Judson.
other amazing people that I met that night too, man. Gretchen Shear, I met Tillman, I
Mm-hmm.
met Patrick Retita.
Patrick and Stone, yeah, they were
Yeah,
kicking it. They were chopping it up.
yeah, man. And they were all having a great time,
Craig was
and
super
it's just
funny
a
too.
legendary night. Yeah, bro.
Craig and
Craig is
Johnson, we
naturally
caught them
like
at the same
funny,
time.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Craig is funny.
He was mentioning that like most of the time when they have an event, I guess recently as well, like something bad has happened recently. Like we just lost a game, we just traded a player, some shit happened, like that wasn't great. And so there was like a cloud over the event. But he was like, this time, mid streak, like 6 games into the win streak, Jalen's going nuclear. Everybody was happy. Everybody was all smiles. Even Alp was there and like not limping or anything, and he was all smiles. And at that point, like we were still worried about his recovery and shit. Like at this point, I think everybody's kind of cool with it. Everybody knows he's gonna be shut down for the season. At that point, we're still like, can he come back? Can he not? And he was like not limping. We were hype as shit.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
Also, I do want to note, Amen Thompson is so big. Like people undersold how much of an oversized point guard he is. If he ever gets to that point guard, I don't know. He's playing as a four now, which is like a good place for him.
Hmm.
He's undersized for a four, but he is oversized for being that young of a kid. Like he's like what 20 years old or some shit, and he is huge. 6'7". He looks like he's 220. He's got like an insane amount of like size over Jalen. So if they have similar levels of athleticism, he might have the highest ceiling on the team. Just going off of his like build, he might have the highest ceiling on the team.
Since we're talking about him briefly, I wanted to bring up the fact that it's crazy that he's not playing the point guard position right now a lot, and he's still so very good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, in the lineup with the plus being, out the roof when he's in the game. He's really like positionless. When you think
Mm-hmm.
about it, you could put him anywhere on the court except like the shooting right now. He needs to improve, but once he starts becoming a decent shooter, he's going to be a threat from everywhere on the court. But right now, having him in the dunker spot, it's like working very well for us. And there's more space, and I feel like because he's playing so well, it kind of feeds into what Jalen is doing, and
Mm-hmm.
that pace is faster now. So teams are having a hard time trying to keep up with us because of those two. I think they speed up the pace for us as a team, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And Amon Thompson, I still want to see him with like a better handle and a shot to see what it looks like all put together. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like really cool to see.
Yeah, I think the opportunity to have two different types of play styles centered around like Shingun Hub versus like Amen Thompson as a traditional, slightly more traditional point guard, playmaker. I think that's interesting, and I think that's necessary because we ran into the issue of playing like one type of game with Harden already, and it carried us very far because of how good Harden was. I'm not saying like these guys can't be that good where they can carry us with one system all the way to the Western Conference Finals, but I don't give a fuck. The Western Conference Finals doesn't move me. You need multiple play styles. You need Jamal Murray and you need Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yes.
need all of those pieces to get
Mhm.
past these juggernaut teams. Um, so like the offense being killer, and then being able to play through Jalen, being able to play through Amen, being able to play through Shingun, having those options is good. It'll make us a matchup nightmare. But yeah, to like specifically to focus on Amen, him playing that dunker spot, the baseline, sort of like a free safety four. I think that's a genius idea from Ime, or just like a genius, way to play him as a non-shooter because it lets him flex his strengths, which are his speed, his movement, his cutting ability, his finishing ability near the rim, which has gotten better. I think it was a little shaky at times, but that's kind of what he was known for pre-draft, right? He doesn't really have the playmaking yet. His handle is loose. He turns it over a lot. And obviously, yeah, that jump shot is not there yet. Ben Sullivan, don't make me say it. But that'll come along. He's a rookie, dude. Like look how far Jalen came. Look how far Alp came. Look how far Jabari came. I would argue, like lowest point to highest point, Jabari has had the best progression. He's become like a steady guy. His defense is not as good as I hoped it would be at this point, but there's
Mhm.
time. He's got the tools. He needs to get bigger. All that will come. Uh, but yeah, like Amen is giving another dimension, another edge to this team, and I think that's going to help us long run.
Right.
There's some other I don't remember now. It was about the gala, but I can't remember.
But I wanted to add about Amon Thompson, bro. Like you said, why is this so genius to put him at the dunker spot? Because when he gets the ball there, he's going to be able to finish at the rim, which is one of his strengths, right? What we
Mhm.
talked about, and he's gotten better at finishing at the rim. But wait until he hits the weight room, bro. Like he gets like 2 or 3 years in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be really scary. He's already dunking on dudes, but it's gonna get a lot like it's gonna get nastier. Like those posters are gonna be on Sports Center a lot.
Defenders in the paint are going to be making a lot of business decisions. Like,
Facts.
there's a
Yes.
lot of people who are not going to who are not going to want to be in front of a downhill Amen Thompson. You know,
Mhm.
like that is a scary thought. There was I don't know who it was that he cleared out. I think I mentioned it last time too. I think it was Dean Wade after when we were playing the Caps. He left that dude in the dust. And then there was another game. I think it was the Thunder game where we got a turnover and he was the last man back behind all of our guys and all of the Thunder guys. He beat all but three players down the floor. It was Fred VanVleet who had initiated the fast break, one defender, or no, two defenders. That's what it was, and Fred. And he beat everybody else down and took it and finished it all the way down, coast to coast. That's fucking incredible. And the speed he has, the effectiveness he has as a finisher, if he can get a little bit of a handle and become a point guard, like a proper traditional point guard, we're cooking with gas. Like this team is going to be nasty as fuck. Jabari, Tari, Amen, Cam, Jalen, and Alp. Insane core.
And I don't know if you remember, but I think it was Zach Lowe on his podcast that
He kept on
mentioned,
saying we had seven young players. Sorry, not to interrupt. I don't know where he keeps getting the
yeah,
seven from. Jock Lando.
but it was, but I think it was Tim McMahon specifically who said it that the Rockets believe that Armin Thompson could be one of the best defenders in the entire league, and there's evidence to back that up, bro. When
Yeah, I
you
would
see
argue he
the
already
tape,
is.
you know what I'm saying? Like staying in front of your man, like being a great perimeter defender. He can do that easily. We see it. But it's like the weak side help where he comes and block shots, take charges, plays the passing lanes and get steals to get
Mhm.
the fast break started. It's all those things combined that can make, you know what I'm saying, like a defensive player of the year. I think he could really win it in a couple of years. I know this is a great league, but this guy is really special on the defensive side of the ball, man. Like that was one of the reasons we drafted him.
I think if he wins a Defensive Player of the Year, it's going to be like Derrick Rose winning the MVP in between LeBron's four. It's going to be like Wemby, Wemby, Amen, Wemby, Wemby.
Yeah, I'm a
Because,
little
dog,
biased. Yeah.
We were talking mad shit about Wemby, and I'm still gonna be talking mad shit about Wemby, that lanky baguette shit. But holy shit, dude, he's so good on defense. Like he has grown men scared running out of the paint. And like I kind of understand why, but at the same time, it makes me think back to that 45 point Shingun game where he showed no fear. He got blocked like 7 times and was like, fuck you, bitch. You can't block all of them. And he
Yeah.
scored 45 on excellent efficiency. He's like, you're not going to block all of them. 45 points on Wemby. Our dude is fearless. Our dude
That's
is
why
not impressed by your croissants.
exactly. That's why when I hear people like talk down on Shingun, bro, like y'all gotta calm down with that. You see this guy's performance against this guy who's like basically getting like 8 to 10 blocks a game every night, and to drop 45 on him, steal his chain like Debo style, really remarkable. Like the performance of the year, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that one, and then Jalen's OKC Thunder game, I think that pretty up there, you know what I'm
Those
saying? For
two are
top two.
easily their best games. Yeah, I agree. I'd
Mhm.
say like at full strength, beating or not at full strength, but like in totality, yeah, not full strength. In totality, taking both games, as a whole, the game was better when we played the Thunder. It was like a close game, back and forth, OT win. Jalen went off,
Mhm.
for an insane stat line. But on like an individual performance level, I got to give it to Shingun for 45 on Wemby. That's insane. Like
All
we're
right.
talking about a guy who's the greatest defensive generational prospect of all time, got bitched for 45 points.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I all praise to Shingun for that. But we'll keep it moving. Not to shower our Rockets with too much praise. Motherfuckers get better, make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
these fucking Warriors stuff. We were so close. We were so close to catching these bitches and ending this dynasty. Just wrap this shit up. Retire, trade Dre, whatever. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make 10 over us.
Did you see that video clip of Draymond? What he said on this podcast, where he said we have a chance to end their hopes of the playoffs and
He's
everything, bro.
such a
That
corny fucking loser. Like, I don't know who
yes,
had the tweet, but like somebody was saying like Warriors fans are posting like the note emoji or just like pulling receipts or whatever. Like your team used to win championships. Like, be serious, you know? Oh, it was Zion. It was Zion. He tweeted that. He was like, you guys used to be like contending for championships. You used to have LeBron in a chokehold, like what the fuck happened to this franchise that now the like pride and joy of your season is we stopped the 11th seed rebuilding Rockets from making the play in. Like, congratulations, hang the fucking banner. You fucking losers. The fact that it was only the KD championships are cursed, whatever. Count them if you want, count them if you don't want. But like the fact that you only got 2 or 4 championships out of Steph Curry and only one finals MVP out of him, like something was just weird about the whole thing to like begin with. And then them adding KD just ruined it for me, like put a bad taste in my mouth. That first year when they went nuclear, when Steph was hitting everything and we had never seen anything like it. His first MVP year, I think it was 2015. I think that was when I was the biggest fan of the Warriors, and it just went downhill from there. And I know that's how it goes with a lot of new good teams, but like they really spoiled it for themselves. They really could have been the Golden Boys for a while. If Dre wasn't a piece of shit, and if KD never joined, then it would
no,
just
but
be, oh,
fuck
Clay
that.
is annoying sometimes. That's it. Then that's not so bad.
Yeah, I know. I would say numerous times on this podcast, like fuck the Warriors. Ever since 2014, that was a great year. I think 2015. You said that was a great year for us when we had James Harden and Dwight Howard, right, and we had Patrick Bev.
Mm-hmm.
That was a year we came back on the Clippers, and Josh Smith was going crazy that game
And
six.
Corey Brewer,
Uh, yeah, and
and
can
I
you
think Jason
believe
Terry too, right?
Yeah, and can you believe Judson was at that game, bro? I was like, I
Really?
can't believe you were at
Of
that
course
game.
he was.
Yeah,
God
I
damn.
know, right? But um, yeah, man, fuck the Warriors, fuck Draymond. Hopefully, we could beat their ass tomorrow night and get a little bit of bragging rights. Even if we don't make the plan, I just want to beat these motherfuckers, bro. I know I'm cussing on here a lot, but like that's what happens
We're
when
passionate
we
about the
bring up the
Warriors, man. Like,
Warriors.
there's
You know what I
everybody
mean?
knows why we're passionate about beating the Warriors. Like, it doesn't need to be
Yeah.
stated. I don't think it needs to be. Fuck it, it's our podcast. It doesn't need to be defended. Fuck the Warriors.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we beat them tomorrow, I still care about making the play in, and like I know technically it's mathematically possible, but if we beat them tomorrow, it's gonna be like I can live with whatever happens after that.
Yeah, that's what I
If we
mean. Yeah.
lose to them tomorrow and we don't make the play in, like I know we'll beat their ass next year, but I don't have to live with that all off season. You know, they already beat us twice this season. Let's get the last one at least.
Yeah, at least one time, man. Let's I'm sure the entire fan base will rejoice, bro. Like, because these motherfuckers are the reason why we really missed out on two championships, in my opinion, right? Like 2018 and even 2019, bro. I know we didn't play as well that year, but we still kind of had the same core, the same guys, and that's when KD got hurt. That was the year he got hurt. So
Mhm.
we should have won that series too.
Yeah, it was it. There's so many like should have moments in those KD Warrior years, like that he spoiled for not just us, like that Steph LeBron rivalry. I know we're getting into like super off topic from the Rockets, but like that Steph LeBron rivalry could have been one of the all time greatest rivalries. Like it was, I think it was 4 consecutive or 5 consecutive finals, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it was four.
but yeah, like that's some legendary shit. And KD basically came in and was just like, nah, not letting it happen. I'm gonna just like take a giant dump on it. And it's like everybody knew where it was going. Like they won instantly with him. I'm super salty about this. But let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay.
We're gonna beat their ass tomorrow. But let's move on.
Yes, sir.
The Texans are still making moves. Nick Casario, aka Megamind, still making moves. Dude, what was holding this man back in the past? I need to know. Like he picked up D'Amigo, he picked up CJ Stroud, and he was just like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go on like an insane streak from here on out." But we picked up Stefon Diggs today for like nothing, and like the cap hit is minimal, not minimal, but like it's pretty small for Stefon Diggs. And we didn't give up like anything in this year's draft. It's a second in next year's draft, and we got back like a fourth and a fifth, I think. Wild.
Yeah.
I don't know like the full context. I'm still like relatively new to football, but even I know Stefon Diggs. Even I know the Minneapolis Miracle. Like, and I don't pay
Mhm.
attention to shit for the NFL. So like, I was pretty hyped when I saw that. That at least, even if it doesn't work out, signals like a new era in Texans football, right? Where we're attracting a new level of free agent now, like that, or not free agent, but you know what I mean. Like Stefon Diggs allegedly wanted to come to Houston, so like we're attracting a new level of player who wants to be in Houston, not free agent trade. But you get my point. What were your thoughts?
Yep.
You know what the fuck you're talking about, so you talk.
So just seeing the Texans make the moves they've made so far before the draft, bro, this is really what a real football organization looks like. It's supposed to look like a competent organization that knows what they're doing. And I think a lot of the credit should go to D'Amico Ryans because if it was still Nick Casario with like a David Culley or Lovie Smith, I still feel like he would be making most of the decisions by himself. Like, I would say like 80% of like personnel who he wants on the team because of all his successful years in New England. So
Mm-hmm.
they kind of trusted him to make those decisions, with most of the power. But when you get a good head coach like D'Amico Ryans, who knows the game in and out, especially on defense, and a man who you trust, right? This guy, you called him a captain his rookie year when he was on the team. So when you have a general manager and a great head coach that work well together, this is what happens. This is what it's supposed to look like. And this also happens when you have a quarterback that the players respect in the NFL, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Diggs would have signed off on that if they would have said, okay, well, Jacksonville wants you. They would have been
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck no, I don't want to play down there.
I thought
You know
Davis
what
Mills was
I'm
about to catch some strays.
saying? No, I gotta take up for the Texan legends, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if it
Gotta show
was
love.
if it was Jacksonville, I doubt he would have said yes. Simple as that.
Yeah, bro.
Trevor Lawrence.
And to add that receiver to our mix, bro, like a true number one. Not that Nico or Tank weren't true number ones because they were. Nico had like 1,300, 1,400 yards this past year. Tank was about to have 1,000 yards before he got hurt. Um, it's just going to be a scary offense to deal with because now you can't just stack the box for the running game, right? You can't. We got
Hmm.
too many receivers. You
Even
can't.
Mixon's a good catcher, right? Like he can catch
Yeah,
the so everybody's dangerous.
exactly, bro. You can line him up as a receiver. He's a great blocker. Um, but CJ has weapons now, and he's gonna go like I think he's really gonna try to win MVP next year, bro. Depending, I know the schedule is tough because we won our division last year. That's how it always plays out. You get a tough schedule the next year, but I guarantee you that Dallas game is going to be prime time, bro. It's got to be a Monday night game. That's going to be a huge game. And we get a chance to see Diggs on Diggs, which is going to be amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Diggable.
Covering each other. Yeah. And even the Bills game, when we play the Bills, a revenge game for Diggs to show them what they missed out on. But I do want to say that, with everybody you get like that, especially superstar that Diggs is, there's always baggage that comes along, right? It's not always like
Yeah, I
just
heard he's a bit
good
of a diva.
things. Yeah. Like when he doesn't get the ball thrown to him, sometimes he throws fits on the sideline or he's chewing out his teammates. And I think part of the reason why they decided to bring him over here was because they know that we have a good locker room. We have a great coach, just a good culture here down here in Houston. You know what I'm saying? With Nick, D'Amico, and
Crazy.
CJ
Crazy that we're
as the
saying this
lead.
about the Texans. Sorry.
Yeah. And I think that it's more manageable that way, right? Because when you have CJ coming up to you like, hey, bro, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to be locked in. And like I know I can't throw the ball to you on every play,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna get to you in the red zone. Things like that.
Yeah,
Where
you know
like,
CJ's gonna handle it the right way. You know
yeah,
D'Amico's
man.
not gonna let Stefon get like out of control or whatever. So like it seems like you said, because of the culture that's been established, there's kind of like a buffer zone where he can like, I don't know, maybe like fit into the culture a little bit better since it's like it's just been established. It's very strong. Like I think I hear what you're saying.
And there was one thing that D'Amico Ryan said, when he got hired is, one thing that we're not gonna put up with is players like that are, if they act selfish or they're all about themselves, they have no problem, dealing with that or getting rid of players
Hmm.
that are going to try to ruin the team or become that cancer on the team. So I trust Nick and D'Amico on that 100%. If you even just look at Nick Casario's track record from New England, they never really had problems like that. And when they did, they dealt with them in house. It didn't get out to like the media or like everybody knowing their business like that. But I think he's in a great spot. AFC South, you're totally fucked. You're not going to be able to, what I'm saying? All those teams not going to be able to fuck with us. And good luck to the whole league, bro, because like I told somebody earlier at work, like, this is not fair, to give a quarterback like CJ all these weapons and like you don't really you're not paying these guys a lot right
Hmm.
now. You don't have to make that decision right now. So these are
Hmm.
the years where you don't want to wait and waste time. You want to take advantage of these
You got to load up.
guys. Yeah, like how well they're playing in their prime right now and try to take advantage of that to go to the AFC championship, which we've never been there, bro. But I'm calling it right now. I think we'll at least make it to the AFC championship game next year.
Yeah, I feel like just based on what I know from last season, what I watched last season, what I know from previous seasons, it really feels like it's going to be us and KC, like for the AFC,
Yep.
like
Mhm.
and they didn't get like much stronger, you know. And we've like totally retooled. Like we added some weapons on defense, we added some fucking weapons on offense, and like real power on offense and defense, not just like names, you know. So it's gonna be interesting. I feel like I picked the perfect time to become a fan, or to like really enjoy my fandom. I'd say this is sick. Oh, one thing I did want to talk about. This I've been thinking about this all day. Rockets fans who are also Cowboys fans who now have to deal with this shit, enjoy
Yeah.
it. Enjoy dealing with this because the fact that you were rooting for a Dallas team this whole time and just like quietly getting away with it. I've talked about this on the timeline too. This is not a secret opinion. The fact that you've just been double teaming, fucking playing both sides, being a little traitorous, motherfucker for the NFL, and then being like, oh, I'm a little Rockets fan when it comes to the NBA. Nah, like pick a side, pick a city,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, bro.
quit the like, and then like Astros fan, the San Antonio fans, you've talked about this, the Spurs, Astros, Dallas, Cowboys fans. That's
Yes.
unhinged, insane behavior.
Yes.
Like if you're from San Antonio, just first of all, I'm sorry, but like get your shit together. Like just root for the Spurs.
Yeah.
Because like as Houston Astros fans, we don't want you. And I'm not gonna speak for Dallas Cowboys fans. You root for them if you want to. But the Dallas Cowboys fans who are also Rockets fans who were complaining on the timeline about this. I like y'all in general, but
Mhm.
damn if y'all don't deserve this shit. Like enjoy little brother status. Enjoy not being America's team, not even Texas's team. Enjoy just mediocrity. If this is Jerry Jones going all in, I can't you're gonna have to wait until he dies. That's it. Like that dude is asleep at the wheel. He doesn't give a shit anymore. He won his championships back in the 90s, right? The Cowboys are a joke, dude. Like every season, the most consistent thing I see about the Cowboys is that meme of the guy wearing jorts, the fucking jersey, and saying the Cowboys are going all the way this year. And they never do. They don't even get close. So y'all get what you deserve. Honestly, if you a
But
two-time Rockets fan.
I will add this to what you're saying, Rizzy, is like this is why you always have to stay down, like where you have to be loyal all the time. Because when shit goes your way, just like the Texans are now getting everybody's attention about, look, they're making real moves. Like I've seen a lot of Cowboy fans saying, I want my team to make those moves, and they ain't doing shit. So no, you guys stay on that side. You can't have this team or the Astros. Like y'all motherfuckers root for UT or like Waco team, somebody. Y'all don't come to Houston, bro. Y'all stay on that side. Even Corpus Christi, it was disgusting the stuff that I saw over there. They were rooting for
Corpus Christi.
Spurs,
I feel bad for Corpus Christi because they don't have
Cowboys,
any teams, right?
and then Astros. Yeah, I know, but they're just because I went to their, I think it was their academy, so they had like the the teams that everybody, you know what I'm saying, was copying the merch of. So
Mhm.
it was Spurs, Cowboys, and Astros. I'm like, this is so disgusting. I gotta leave here right now. So y'all can't have if y'all don't want all of Houston, y'all can't just take one team, bro. Like fuck y'all stay on that side.
Be careful about saying stay on that side. That's really triggering to some people now.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
many
true.
people. We're not gonna get into the Jalen and Shingu shit because most of all, I feel like neither of us think it's a valid argument to even have. Like it's not a real discussion to be had.
Yes.
Um, Even if you are dead set on having to pick one, then what you do is you give Jalen an extension. You don't extend Alp because of their cap hits, because Jalen was taken at whatever two his cap hit is significantly higher if he goes to RFA. So you extend Jalen, whatever. Don't extend Shingun, and you evaluate both of them next year, and then you make a fucking decision. Why would you make a decision now? You're not going to do that now. So why are we having this discussion?
Yeah.
Not only is not like we don't agree with the premise, we also don't agree with the timing. So don't bring that shit to my mentions. I'm not going to dignify that with a response. Um, the
Can I say
Texans are about to
something
whoop
though?
the NFL. The Rockets are about to whoop the NBA next year.
Yes, sir.
Astros, for the love of God, get your shit together.
Hey,
What is
but people were
happening with
talking
the
on the
Astros?
timeline, bro. The
What?
Astros had to sacrifice, they had to die for the Texans to, what I'm saying, to become good and make all these moves and shit. But I'm here for it, bro. I mean, they brought 2 titles to the city. Everybody hated us for it, which I love even more. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like, if
On
you're
brand,
telling me, like, hey, you want to cheat again and you get to beat those teams, I'll do it all over again.
hundred
You know what
percent,
I'm saying?
100%.
Call me a cheater. I'll bring the trash can back. I call it the legend. I was like, legend, help us,
Salute for your
please.
service.
You know what I mean? But going back to the Shingun and Jalen stuff, Reese, I would say if you're just like a reasonable basketball fan,
Mm-hmm.
you know that both of these guys can coexist. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You know
Yeah.
that they can work together, and when they're on the court, we've seen it. They've played well together before. You know what I'm saying? This is not like rocket science, bro. This is something that definitely has worked before. And why would you get rid of these guys, bro? Of one of these guys? Like, it's so stupid to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you drafted these guys, they have a bright future. And you know what I'm saying? We know Shingun's gonna come like stronger next year. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see how everybody fits in, and then Steven Adams, you know what I'm saying, in that rotation and what the
Mm-hmm.
lineups look like.
Tari coming
So
back.
yeah, man. So I can't wait to see the guys, full strength next year. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Plus whoever we draft with the Nets pick. Shout out Nets.
Facts.
That's a guaranteed lottery pick now. Um,
What is that? Top 8?
I think right now it's 8.
Okay.
But it can drop, so it could go anywhere from 1 to 14, I think,
Okay.
if I remember the odds correctly. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I enjoy the lottery process now and like the draft process and all that since the rebuild. Like I have a deeper appreciation for it, but I have not been paying attention to where our pick is. Damn, I was gonna mention something we were talking about. Fuck. Oh,
Texans or Rockets?
huh?
Texans or Rockets?
No, Rockets. It was I get obviously we disagree with the premise and the timing of that conversation of whether we should trade Jalen or Şengün, but it's gotten a little like vitriolic, the discourse, because people were like after the loss, after the Dallas loss, people were like, oh, the Şengün propaganda is gonna go crazy now. First of all, if anybody is talking Şengün propaganda after we lose to the Mavericks and end the streak, I don't give a fuck about them as a fan. Like I don't respect them as a fan, and therefore I don't respect their opinion as a fan. Second, if your first thought after the streak ended and we lost was, damn, this looks bad for Jalen, or damn, this looks good for Al P, like reassess your fucking priorities,
Yeah.
right? Like we just the streak ended. We need to catch Golden State. Are we Rockets fans? Like what the fuck are we doing here?
Exactly.
I'm not a Jalen fan. I'm not a Şengün fan. I'm a fan of them, but I am not them fans. I'm a Rockets fan. So like enough with the fucking back and forth being like, what's your agenda? I saw somebody today. I'm not gonna call them out because I don't want like everybody tracing it down, but somebody posted the calendar from April and it said L on the date because everybody had been posting for the streak, it said like dub, dub, dub all through the thing. So somebody kept it
Yeah.
going and posted April L, 1L. Just as a fact. No caption, just the picture. And somebody
Mhm.
responded and was like, I don't know what agenda you're pushing, but and then like a reaction gif of somebody going, shh. And I was like, you don't know what agenda they're pushing. They stated a motherfucking fact. There's a calendar, there's the day we played, and there's the L. There's a result of the game. It
Yeah.
didn't say Şengün's name, it didn't say Jalen's name. There was no stated agenda. And this guy was like, I don't know what your agenda is. This is the level of discourse that we're having right now. And it's like, I don't know if it's that Twitter has gotten worse or if NBA discourse has gotten worse or if Rockets Twitter is just cancerous. I don't know what it is, but like, stop it. It's fucking
Yeah.
annoying. Also, last thing, certain people on the platform, on Twitter, on Rockets Twitter, um, they have their own platforms already. Cool, whatever. Um, and they've said some wild shit to people within the community. And like we all know what wild shit was said. You might not know who I'm talking about, but if I tell you who, you'll know exactly what they said. Um, The fact that they're getting sort of promoted and elevated and like given more of a platform to speak, that's a choice. Sure, like people can make that choice for themselves. I just want to put it out there, and I feel like you'll agree with me on this. If you're saying racist or homophobic or sexist shit on the timeline, or if there's video of you saying it, or there's receipts of you saying it, um, don't expect us to like play nice or like don't expect to come on the podcast or any of that shit. Like I don't think we're not those kind of fans. Houston is not that kind of city.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately that's like the core of our podcast is we're like Houston fans. So I just wanted to say that because I saw it and like I was kind of surprised at it. At like who's still getting pushed, promoted by the community. Not like it's not like a fucking conspiracy. Not everything's a fucking conspiracy. But like who's
Mm-hmm.
getting attention from the community? And I just want to like put it out there, if this is who we're gonna support, let's just make sure they pass all the minimum fucking standards. That's it.
No, facts. I agree, bro. Everything you said. Going back to the Shingun and Jalen discourse. I wanted to add, if you like watch the game, the Dallas game, and you just know ball like just a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know that Shingun could have helped us that game,
Mm-hmm.
bro. You know that how they were trapping Jalen. It was one of the first games we've seen a team trap Jalen the way they did, right? Whether it was out like far in the wing or like crossing half court,
Mm-hmm.
and that's perfect for Shingun when he got the ball in the middle to become, the offensive hub. And you could trust whatever he's going to do. He's going to generate a good look. He's going to make the shot, or what I'm saying, like make like a highlight play, dunk on somebody. So he would have been right there, just complimenting Jalen
Mm-hmm.
in that situation and helping the team out. Right when you get trapped, what's the first thing you got to do? You got to get the ball to the center of the court and then see what you got, because now it's a what 3-on-2, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got the
So that should be
mismatch.
an
You got the
advantage,
numbers.
and that's who you want having the ball there. Your best decision maker, which was for most part of the season, Alperen Şengün.
Mm-hmm.
So let's stop this, bro. Like, come on. If you're
That's
just a reasonable fan, you understand that. So
yeah.
that's why I don't engage in that shit, bro. Like it's a waste of time.
It easily could have been where the streak was happening and everybody was just like, damn, Jalen finally made the leap. He just needed a little bit more space and a little bit of like somebody had to call his number and he stepped up. And like now this is who he's gonna be. And that could have been the discourse. And then we lose that Dallas game. People could have like, damn, it's a good game from Jalen. Like we still had an amazing streak, even if we lost. But look, this is clearly why we need to be able to play multiple ways. And Shangun could have got us out of this exact situation. Like, how exciting is this going to be next year when he comes back? That could have been the discourse. And once again, because we are all fucking reactionary, engagement driven robots at this point, everybody was just like, damn, this is why you need Shengu and Jalen can't do this on his own. Jalen could have done this on his own. He's getting trapped. He couldn't shoot well, blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're not always going to shoot 50% for the like, come on, dog. Like, let's just enjoy the fucking process. Like, this is the best it's been in 3 years. Can I enjoy it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
4 years, technically 4 years, because we had the tanking year, the full tanking year, where we had nobody. And then Jalen's first year, Jabari's first year, and now Amen's first year. You know what I'm saying? So it's been 4 years. We finally have like not just a ray of hope. The clouds have parted, sunshine, birds are singing, people are going to the beach. Like this is the energy it should be. And instead, we're just like tearing our own team down. It was so disappointing, but whatever. I enjoy that on our podcast. We were like enjoying it at least, having a good time. Plus, we don't really engage with all that shit on the timeline.
Yeah, I mean, because Twitter's gonna Twitter, bro. You know what I mean? They're gonna say what they do.
You said some shit
Just
on like the
over
fourth episode about Twitter, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a fucking bar. Damn, I'm gonna have to go hunt that down and tweet it out or something. But you had a bar about Twitter where you were like, "That's just what it is. It's a cesspool," you know. Anyway,
Yeah, bro. You
a
gotta when you
couple
finally
of
send it to me.
I will. A couple of housekeeping notes. I know that last episode I said last call for shirts, but I do actually have a list right now. So if you want a shirt, this is your last call before the next episode goes out. The shipment will be, the order will be put in. So let me know. Just let me know if you want a shirt. If there's too many people, I might charge like $5 or something. But as of right now, if you just want a shirt, I'll get you a shirt. For listening this far. The other thing was shit. No, I can't fucking remember. I don't know, but thanks for listening this far. You can find me on Twitter at Reezy Season, REEZYSCN. You can find the podcast at Sittin Sideways _ no G.
You can find me on Twitter at Ikecuellar. That's IKECUELLAR.
And once again, thank you for listening this far. Sub to us wherever you listen to your podcast. Sub to us on YouTube. That's going to be our primary place for posting episodes. We'll always post on YouTube. I might not always post the audio the same day. So if you want to get it first, it'll be on YouTube. But yeah, thanks for listening. Go Rockets, go Texans, go Houston. And exclusively Houston.
And can I add something?
Reason? Oh yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Y'all make sure and stay tuned, man. We're gonna have some special guests coming on the pod very soon. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. I think y'all gonna like this.
Yeah, we're gonna do it a little bit different. We're gonna bring maybe some of the people you've heard from before, but we're gonna talk about some stuff that they don't usually get to talk about. We're gonna have it. It's gonna be fun. If you want all that analysis shit, you can get that from Sam Vecini and fucking, The Athletic or whatever. But we're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna bring on some people. I'm gonna find out, Jackson, why are you the way you are?
Bro, we need to cook him, bro.
Well, I'm gonna fry him alive. All right, but we do have a long list, and if we've talked to you about coming on the podcast, we're definitely gonna hit you up about it. And it's some of these people are like credentialed media members, some people who are very well connected with the Rockets. It's gonna be an exciting time. So stay tuned. And thanks for listening. Do you have anything else? I don't want to rush you.
That's it.
All right, dope. Catch us on the next one. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Oh, you cold as ice, Breezy.